Y'all gonna be facing this way, right?
You know what? Come in the middle. Come in the middle.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Hey, Shalom, Akim. Okay. First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Yahshua. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Salute to you brothers out there that's doing
Double
the work.
honors to y'all.
Yep, double honors to y'all brothers out there that's
They
doing
hell
this
with
work,
us.
man. Okay.
Double honors to the people on the chat.
Y'all young brothers keep us going, man.
Come.
Hey, it's all the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. Hey, today through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we're gonna go into Revelations, the 13th chapter. All right.
So from the top.
Yeah, we're gonna go from the very top.
This is all.
Okay. Then we're gonna have the spirit work it out from there. Okay.
Yep. This is all Revelations chapter 13, the first verse. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his 10 horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Y'all read that again? I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yeah, that beast represents a great kingdom, okay? Great in wickedness at that, all right? Which is basically the leading countries of modern day Western society, okay? Which history goes all the way back to ancient Rome, all right? So, read that again from the top.
Nope. And I stood out of the sand, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yeah, 7 heads and 10 horns, all right? Which those 7 heads represent seven great countries that came out of Europe, all right? If I can remember off top, the 7 heads represents, you had the Roman Empire, you had Rome, you had Greece, you had Spain, France, you had Germany major, Germany minor, you had Great Britain. How many did I name? That was 7? Okay.
Yep, that's 7, bro.
And it said 10 horns, right? 10 horns represents the 10 nations out of NATO and the EU. Okay? Which goes back to Belgium, Luxembourg, Denmark, the Netherlands, you had UK and Ireland, Portugal and Spain, you had France. You also had, I'm kind of lost on the numbers. you had France, you had West Germany.
It's like 22 now, right?
It's almost 30. It's like 30 now.
Yeah.
You got Finland and Sweden. Yeah. They just joined. Church, well, officially they're not in because all the members, current members have Queen Turkey's not with it. So that's those toes being broken up. You know?
Yeah, all you gotta say is the European common markets.
European common markets.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's one of the major reasons why you have this crisis going on out there in Ukraine today, or going on in Eastern Europe. It's because NATO is constantly trying to expand eastward, closer to the Russian border. All right? So that's the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Go ahead, read on.
And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
And the leopard represents the beginning of the so-called white man coming into rulership, going back to Alexander the Greek. Okay, you can get the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, what is it, the 6th verse, I believe. Right?
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
That's right, which represents the Greek Empire. Okay? The Greek Empire, in which the so-called white man came into power, starting with Alexander the Greek. And then he had his 4 generals under him.
That's why they say civilization started with the Greeks.
Kind.
Edomite civilization.
Yeah, Edomite civilization started with the Greeks.
Oh, also the wicked Because
Kind.
the scriptures say that
Maccabees.
in Maccabees,
Kind.
wickedness multiplied in the earth.
That's
So
right.
that's the beginning of the wicked ruling, Esau.
Which proves that the so-called white man is the wicked,
Exactly.
according to the Bible.
Do you know that
Okay.
Alexander, all the nations that he took down, he kissed one nation's ass. You know what that nation was? Israel. He kissed it because he saw the priest. He saw the priest in the dream with the white and then the company of priests. And it was told unto him that those are the Israelites, the special people of the Most High. And then the priest showed him face to face who he is in the Bible. He said, "This is you." So when he heard all that, and who schooled Alexander?
Begin with an N, right?
Aristotle. You said Aristotle. All right. John. Aristotle taught us. What did they do to Socrates? They killed him because of his philosophy. Basically, he was calling the white man a devil. All right. And they made him drink. I think it was strychnine. Made him drink poison. So the guy that came behind him, one of the 7 sages, was Aristotle, and Aristotle raised him up in the ways. And what did he teach him? What things did he teach him? Hebrew. Taught him Hebrew. Socrates spoke Hebrew. Aristotle spoke Hebrew, and Alexander spoke fluent Hebrew and was able to read and write Hebrew.
You said it was more Daniel?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
It
Finish.
said Daniel 7:6, and the beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Yup, it had 4 heads and dominions were given unto it. All
Speak
right?
louder, huh?
It had 4 heads and dominion was given unto it, going into the Greek Empire. All right? And after Alexander the Great, as we call him, when he passed, the kingdom was separated amongst his 4 generals. Okay? Which was Ptolemy, Seleucus, Lacomaeus, and Cassandra. Yup, kind of the water. All right? So that became the beginning of so-called white civilization or white society,
Yeah, the wicked ruling.
the wicked ruling.
And the proof of that is in the Apocrypha. Then wickedness multiplied on the planet Earth.
Kind. Well, if you got it, bring it out.
This is 1 Maccabees 1:1, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
I got a question. Where's Chittim located? Say it now. Cyprus.
Jumping down to verse 9, it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
There you have it, right? So the beginning of so-called white people ruling on earth is when evil multiplied throughout the world. Okay? And now this is the continuance of it, man. Okay? Let's go back to Revelation 13.
This is Revelations 13:2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear, which represents the Russians.
Yep.
Okay, which as they call it, Mother Russia. All right. And the feet represents the end of a society. Okay, in the beginning it was with Alexander the Great, which was the leopard, as we brought it out in Daniel the 7th chapter. Okay. Then the end of a society represents the feet, which is basically Russia.
The Lord is going to use Russia to bring down the so-called white man. Because that's in Ezekiel. I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog. The Most High is going to raise it. That's why Russia is flexing its muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures say, Satan cast out Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? All right, because those Russians, those are Edomites as well, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. And it says, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, in which the mouth of a lion, the lion's mouth is where his power is at, man. Okay? The scriptures talk about that. All right? In which that mouth of a lion also represents the United Kingdom or Great Britain.
Great Britain.
All right? Because Great Britain is basically known as they like to to showcase themselves as being a monarch. Going back to when our people used to rule during the Middle Ages, medieval times, Dark Ages. All right. When you check out the coats of arms, going back to the Dark Ages, the kings and the rulers of Great Britain, they always had a lion. They always had a lion on their coats of arms. All right, and I believe they still have it today. But the so-called royal family of Great Britain today, they're not the real royal family. And in all reality, they don't even have any power in Europe. They don't conduct the political affairs of what takes place in the United Kingdom. That's why they have a prime minister and such today that deals with all of that. So the so-called Queen of England, she's just a facade. She's the face of that.
Just a figurehead.
She's a figurehead. But it goes back to that royalty, because a lion is known for what? Being the king of the jungle and being a monarch or royalty. All right?
15 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
15 minutes.
You got a Cambridge Bible and it has the logo on it. If you could look at it, it has a lion on the logo, the Cambridge.
Correct.
That's they print in Europe. That's over there in Europe.
Oh, well, you know what? The British passport has a lion on it. You had a British passport? It has a lion on it. Yeah.
All right, let's finish this. We'll finish this off.
And it says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
Yeah, and the dragon goes back to what? Goes back to ancient Rome. All right, which is basically has been revitalized as America and the EU and NATO. Okay, which is Western society, so to speak. Go ahead.
And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah, that's right. Going back to NATO and the EU, which they basically took all of the same customs of ancient Rome. All right, having a senate, okay, and not being set up as a monarch, and basically global dominance. Okay, global dominance, like the ancient Roman Empire was trying to do. All right, and that dragon represents what? The harsh laws that they were putting on the people, man. Draconian laws. The same thing that's taking place out here today in American society and throughout the world, man. Go ahead.
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Yeah, that's why when you look at all of these other countries throughout the world, they even a democratic or Republican state, man. That's what they call themselves. All right. Whether it be different countries in Africa, different countries in Asia, in the Middle East, right? They call themselves Democratic Republic of so-and-so country, or this country, all right? Which it all goes back to them following after NATO and the EU and their dominance on them other nations, all right? Brother, got something you want to bring out
Real quick, brother. This is from a website called tomorrowsworld.org, right? And you're talking about the EU and Roman Empire. Now this is from a politician named Paul Henry Spaak. It said, Belgian politician Paul Henry Spaak was one of the founding fathers of the modern effort to unite Europe. Commenting on how it felt to sign the Treaty of Rome, which broke off the EU. Commenting on how it felt to sign the Treaty of Rome in 1957, he observed, "We felt like Romans on that day.
Oh!
We were consciously recreating the Roman Empire once more. The signature of God, Jeffrey Page 191.
We gotta get it. Now, I did a video where I covered that, but I didn't go that deep where they said we feel like the Roman Empire. But I said, you know how this Rome, the EU was established, really their ego, by the Club of Rome, right? By the Club of Rome. But I don't remember them quotes. They said we feel like, why do you feel like they're Rome? Because that's Rome all over again.
Belgian politician Paul Henry Spaak was one of the founding fathers of the modern effort to unite Europe. Commenting on how it felt to sign the Treaty of Rome in 1957, he observed, "We felt like Romans on that day. We were consciously recreating the Roman Empire once more." And then it gives you the ancient and modern parallels when you read on. So there you go.
They felt good and powerful back then. They felt good and powerful back then.
Yeah.
That's the deadly wound we getting healed.
Go ahead, finish that.
Yep. And it says, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him?
Yeah, that's right. Because after in 1945, when the bombs were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that basically set the stage for the Western forces to rise up into power to instill fear in the other nations. Okay, That's when you had the United Nations. All these other countries started joining in the United Nations. All right, and NATO was basically formed to go against Russia. All right, so all of these other nations, they started to give in. Who was able to make war with America? Who was able to make war with Western society, man? All right, read on. Oh, you got a precept? Yeah.
This is Daniel 7, verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth.
And that fourth beast, and that fourth kingdom is the Roman Empire. All right, is the actual Roman Empire. Okay, because when you read up in the book of Daniel, in the 7th chapter, Daniel described 4 different kingdoms. All right, and the fourth beast or the fourth kingdom represents the Roman Empire, and what made them diverse from all of the is because they basically ruled by a senate. All right, they ruled by a senate. They didn't rule by a monarchy. Okay.
It says, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
They shall tread it down and break it in pieces. All right.
Then
You got that in Maccabees?
This is First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 15.
Okay.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men.
First start. Go to the top so you can know who it's talking about, which is basically the Roman Empire. Hey.
First Maccabees 8 and 1. Now Judas had heard the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
Kind. So we got to the point that it's basically talking about the Roman Empire.
Now we don't know if it's Esau or Japheth, because the Roman Empire started with Japheth. So that pact that they made with the Maccabees, they had to be Japheth. Well, no Edomites. How the Edomites going to join together to fight other Edomites? For Jacob. So we believe they're Japheth.
Yeah, go back to the point.
Yeah, 15, it says, moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily.
That was Japheth. That was Japheth.
It says, consulting always for the people to the end that they might be well ordered.
That's right. So in Rome they had a senate house. Okay, and that's what made them diverse from the other kingdoms that ruled prior to it. All right, and it's the same thing going on here in America in these different countries throughout the world. They rule by a senate. Okay, they got their own. They got their own house that passes certain laws. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Senate passed the laws.
Yeah, cause the Senate is basically passing the laws. All right, and most of the laws are draconian laws, man. You know, you have the 3 different branches of the United States government. Yep. You know, where the president has, he's the executive branch.
Executive, yeah.
A lot of all executive orders get passed through the president. Then you have the legislative branch, which basically deals with signing laws into effect.
Yep.
All right. Got a precept?
This is Daniel 8 and 25. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Yeah, there it goes. The key word is policy, man. Okay. And you got all these people trying to be politicians, so to speak. What do politicians do? They deal with making up certain policies, man. Okay? But through his policies, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Meaning what? Put all of these different laws into effect, mostly to trouble Israel, man. Most of these laws are set up basically to keep our people oppressed. But now it's getting to the point where they're oppressing their own people, man. So-called white people are suffering at the hands of these politicians today. Which all of that is basically prophecy that's played out in the Bible, man. And which is the main reason why there's going to be a lot of sedition among men in this society, man. All right. Finish reading that.
And it says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Yeah, that's right. And the so-called white man, they magnify themselves in their heart to the point where they believe they don't reach God status. They're trying to play the role of the Most High. Okay. They're trying to play the role of God, man. All right?
Let me ask a question, I'm sorry. You got this guy, Klaus Schwab. What's his second-hand man, the so-called Jew? What's his name? Harari. Well, I think you made the video. Yeah. That guy, you know, he's a fake. He was a big fake. You know? But anyway, he said that he quoted scriptures about God being this and that. And he said, but what we're going to do is beyond what God does. We're going to go beyond what God says. And he was the one that actually came out and said, we're going to ship them. We're going to
Pride of thine heart.
cyber with the which is biometric. Bio means body, our body, human body, and metric meaning metric. And that's when they put the cyborg, the AI with the human, and that's when the chip comes in. Exactly.
Pride of thine heart has deceived thee. You got it, brothers.
I'll finish it off. And it says, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Yeah, that's right. Standing up to our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah. Well, the Lord is going to have to put the spirit on him to want to engage in a conflict with him. All right? But for the most part right now, they
what
got...
Did you just read?
That's,
Daniel 8:25.
So what is that talking about exactly?
You should be broken without hand.
What's that talking about exactly?
That the Lord is going to destroy Esau.
No.
The disease.
Oh, you're talking about the
Come on
disease.
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
How did he destroy them? He
gave them
the
power.
Exactly. Yep. Because when you read Daniel 8, it's not talking about future prophecy that already took place. That's only talking about Antiochus. That's all it's talking about.
Con.
You should know, brother.
Nah,
I messed up too.
we use that in Revelation.
Revelations 13.
Yeah, Prince of Princes is sounding.
The Prince of Princes is Yahweh Shai, meaning him coming against Israel, he's really coming against the Prince of Princes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What did the Lord say about Paul? Why can't you thou against the prince? But you really come against me when you come against your people.
Yeah, Antiochus, yeah. Yep.
Revelations 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Hey, but that goes back to what the apostle said. You stated what Charles Schwab said that he can achieve things greater than the
The guy is second, the fact. Harari. Harari, that's the fact. Yeah, he said we're gonna merge machine with man. So that's where the chip comes in.
The so-called white man's been doing that for the longest, defying the Most High. All right?
Put up his picture as the Most High, angels.
Yep. He said he'll be the Most High. Yeah, he said he'll be the Most High.
Majority of the world think he is the Most High. They think he's good,
Continue on.
Verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High.
Blasphemy against the Most High. Go ahead.
To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle.
Blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. Now, who's the tabernacle of the Most High? The nation of Israel. All right, starting with the elect. Get that in Revelation 21:3.
Revelation 21 verse 3. And I heard, a great voice out of heaven, saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men.
Yeah, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. Talking about the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay? So the so-called white man blasphemed the Most High, his name, okay? Because they don't teach the true name of the living power, all right? Whose name is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. They got the world, they accept every other name under the sun that you can call the Most High, as long as you don't admit his true name, Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. All right? There's the chariot.
Oh, Lord, Yahweh.
Right up there.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if y'all can see that. They're way up there, man.
Yeah, they're above the clouds. They're above the clouds.
Verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle.
His name and his tabernacle.
And them that dwell in heaven.
And them that dwell in heaven. All right? Like the apostle said, they put images of themselves up being the children of Israel, or being the Most High, being the Son of the Most High. All right? They don't teach the true name of the Heavenly Father, which we know that they know it. We know that they know the true name of the living power, Yahweh and the Son, Yahweh Shai, but they don't teach that. They allow men to teach that you can call them whatever you want to call them. Right? All right? Go ahead,
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds.
In the way they conquered this land, man. Because the Native Americans, they're from the tribe of Gad of the nation of Israel. Okay? They brought the so-called black man over here to this side of the world to suffer slavery. So they came against the saints of the Most High. All right? Who are the saints of the Most High? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And it's the so-called white man who came against you, pursuant to these prophecies. Okay?
All kindreds and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Good. That's right, man. All right. So this man set himself up to be the Most High, and especially when they came over here and pushed that plantation Christianity on our people and gave us that image of Caesar Borgia, man. You know, because a lot of our people they wasn't into worship, especially the North American Indians. A lot of them had to be forced
5 minutes
to worship that image, man. All right. Yeah, let's speed this up.
Yup, and it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear.
Okay.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
And it's a fact that the so-called white man led our people into captivity, in which we're still in captivity unto this day. All right? Going back to the transatlantic slave trade. And by the way, there was also, there were also, when Columbus first came over here on this side of the world, he brought a lot of the Taino Indians back to Europe. He captured them and brought them back over to Europe to serve slavery. All right? So the whole nation of Israel, we went into captivity as a whole, man. So in turn, the so-called white man is going to have to go into captivity. That's justice. It's not about reparations, man. Reparations is not going to give you justice, man. That doesn't balance right with the Most High. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
And that was Esau's blessing, the sword. Okay?
Right.
And he killed and slaughtered our people with the sword. So in turn, the so-called white man is going to have to be destroyed by way of violence, man. All right?
We're literally going to have a sword too.
Yeah, kind. Pursuing the Psalms 149.
Yeah.
149th chapter, it tells you that.
Yeah. So we're going to carry a sword in the kingdom.
Kind.
Because like High Priest Ariel used to say, the sword is spiritual.
Kind.
You feel it, swish. And that's what he used to say, man.
Yeah, kind.
The sword is spiritual.
Yeah. So there's going to be violence in the kingdom of heaven.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right? Peace is only going to be unto the nation of Israel.
Righteous violence.
Righteous violence. All right? Read on.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Kind. That's why we're patient. We're long suffering, man. For what? So the Lord can come back and allow his vengeance on our enemies, man.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what we're being patient for, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
That's right, man. And those two horns represents bipartisanship, man. All right? Two political parties in America, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. All right, going back to ancient Rome, what was it? The patricians and the plebeians.
Plebeians, yeah.
Okay? Which America is Rome all over again, man. Rome reincarnated.
Yes, sir.
All right? So you have bipartisanship in all of these Western nations. Okay? Go ahead.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him,
Yep, which they got that, they remodeled that from ancient Rome. Go ahead.
and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Yep. Which was the Roman Empire.
Roman Empire, yep.
Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Yeah, that's right, man. We seen those ones. Well, I wasn't allowed to see it, but through history, it's been known. All right, during World War II, when they dropped the two atomic missiles on those Japanese cities, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Okay, that was like a great miracle. That never happened. That never happened on the earth prior to that, man. Okay, two missiles that could totally annihilate cities, man, wipe out cities by the masses. All right, that basically changed the whole state of war. Okay, go ahead.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do,
Which is all part of his technology, man. All right, whether it be from military or whether it be in the medical aspect of things. So which the so-called white man's technology is witchcraft. All right, which is all knowledge and wisdom on the left-hand side. All right, So the nations are being deceived by the miracles of the so-called white man. Go ahead.
which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth,
Yep.
that they should make an image
The white man-
to the
white
beast
man with your woman.
which had the wound by a sword and did live.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, you can read that part again.
God, it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Which that image is talking about joining the New World Order. Be a part of the New World Order. Because that's the main goal or agenda of the elites of this society. All right?
Yeah, take the electronic tag.
Take that electronic tag, which it goes into in this very same chapter. All right? But they basically want the whole world to be a part of this New World Order. Okay? And that's
the,
like,
the real reason why Nate and I don't teach opposite because it's 501c3. We told them. Because they break it down exactly the same way. So they're selling, man. You know?
Took a bribe. It's in Isaiah.
that's right. You want to speed it up.
And verse 15, and he had power,
1 minute.
and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
That's right. And like we stated earlier, that image represents the so-called white man's goal of a New World Order. Okay? And through gradualism and through a process of time, he's been accomplishing that, man. He's been accomplishing that. He's been accomplishing or fulfilling his agenda of a New World Order. All right? Because the mark of the beast is actually here, man. The MOTV is here.
It's here.
All it has to, the only thing that has to be done is that it has to be mandated.
You heard that, Nate?
That's it.
All right. Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead. Hello.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor,
Small and great, people of high stature in this society, people of minute stature in this society. All right, everybody from all walks of life. Go ahead.
free and bond,
Free and bond, read
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, and that mark is talking about a human implantable chip, RFID microchip. Okay, the MOTB, so to speak. And notice it said in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, because matter of fact, Elon Musk, who's basically he's like the face of this new technology here in America through a lot of the things that he's investing in. Okay, he's big on the what is it called, the Neuralink, I think.
Go ahead, man.
The Neuralink, which is basically an implantable chip in your head, man. All right, which is basically or as they call it, the brain chip. All right, which basically it ties you into the entire internet, man. It ties you into the entire internet.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal of that fusing humanity with Esau's technology, man.
Control.
Okay?
Control.
Yeah, total control. Total control. They talk about it on TEDx talks. There's videos all over the internet that's showing you. They show you. The only thing they're gonna show you on the internet is about how amazing it is to in the wonders that chip can actually do, man. All right, which is basically deception. What you say?
No, like they show like the back heel, they like someone who's paralyzed and they can walk again, something like that.
Yeah, correct. Yep, it's supposed to give sight to the blind, give hearing to the deaf. Like the brother said, it heals paralysis. And so these are the same miracles that Yahweh Shah was doing way before Esau's technology, man.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
So
right.
that further proves that the so-called white man is trying to take on the role of the Most High. All right, but he's doing everything through the left-hand side. Like the apostle said, it's more based upon control. Because the so-called white man, what they show you, all of these beautiful miracles that they say it can do, we done read about these miracles of the Lord doing it 2,000 years ago, man.
Yeah, naturally.
Okay, but then what about the flip side? What about the flip side of those miracles? Are they going to go into that? Show you how much control that this chip can actually have over you?
And they
Okay.
can't force it on you. They can put you in a situation where your back is against the wall. You know, I would say this, just in case y'all thinking about that shit, y'all stock up and stuff like that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't let me come to your house and you got like 10 bags of fucking 50-pound rice, you know, buckets of water, you know.
Got a food fortress.
What's going to happen is the price is going to go up. If you can find items If you can find the items, let's say it's $10 right now. 2-3 months from now, you might be lucky to find it, but it might be $30. So if you can put a little non-perishable stuff inside, ain't nothing wrong with that, right? You know? But really, at the end of the day, you trust in the Most High anyway. You know?
That's right.
Yeah, because we know what's coming through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua according to these prophecies, man.
Yeah, we ain't worried, man.
Cut. Yup. That's right.
We're gonna be taken care of.
Cut. Yeah, absolutely. And Most High is gonna take care of it. If you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you doing His work, you doing what it takes to please the Most High, then the Lord has no choice but to keep His word, man, and deliver you and take care of you, man. At the end of the day, if you firmly and truly believe that, then you're gonna continue on pushing His word, man. All right. Why wouldn't you?
Because if you're a cop, a spy, spying on us, and infiltrator, you got to be out of your damn mind, man. All this truth that you heard, this makes all the sense. Every week that we come out here, and there was two orbs up there last week. Every week this orb's coming over here. Why do they come to the same position?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe because we might be of the elect.
Maybe.
You know, maybe because we're diligent. Maybe we're breaking down the scriptures right.
Yeah.
The Most High is going to show Himself, man. And he is visiting the earth with them ships. That's why they call that big conference with the Congress and the Air Force and all that. The last time they had a meeting like that was back 50 years ago. Why all of a sudden they're having it now? Because there's even more UFO sightings, man. Guess what? They got observatories and telescopes up there 24 hours around the clock. 365 days a year. They record the things that we see one UFO, they done saw 2,000. And one video I did, I quoted from some other video, there was a cluster of UFOs out in space. There had to be like 1,000 UFOs. And they were big clusters, man. So that's an armada. So this man is in trouble. The Most High is just teasing him, you know? So any of you brothers that don't believe this, you can't see it, you laughing at it, man. The Most High will laugh at you.
Yeah.
Every last one of you, the scriptures say, let every man work out his own salvation in fear and trembling. So I can't save you, you can't save me. You got to save yourself. You got to be right with the Most High.
Hey,
go ahead. After you say that, we're going to close.
Everything is going according to the book. Everything is going according to the Holy Bible, to the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Everything that He said the so-called white man is going to do, the white man is accomplishing it. He's doing it. All right. So I don't know why would it be hard to believe that the Lord is going to play His part and deliver His elect. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, man. All right.
That's what the book says.
You know, when police, FBI infiltrate organizations, they get so involved in that organization that they become a part of it, and they got to pull them out. Because you know what they found out? These guys ain't all that bad. And like Donnie Brasco, which is a true story, right? They actually interviewed the guy. He said, when I was with them guys, all them guys did was talk shit. I didn't really get no information, they just talked shit. But they said that he almost wanted to be down with them because he fell in love with them guys. So that happens all the time. So if you're not saying that any of y'all are infiltrators, but if you are, you got to be a real dummy to not believe what we've been teaching, man. You know? Anyway, with that, we're going to close. We're going to salute you brothers out. Next week, we already got the 3 brothers. So, good, very good. Give me a hand.
Let's go.
So let's call it, we out of here. You clapping like Denzel in the movie, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. And Denzel wasn't clapping, right? And then it was a point, he just started clapping, he started crying, and he said, I said, man, that dude's an Edomite, man. Watch the movie. Everybody's clapping, you know. Yeah. Morgan is clapping, everybody's clapping. Oh my Lord, Lord. And then Denzel.
He's probably high on coke.
He's high on coke. Oh yeah, he stays high on coke.
He stays every time you see that dude.
And a boxing match, him on the high as a kite. You know?
Hell yeah.
Anyway, call it and we out of here. Quick!
Kodishadu, Amadu, Hurrah! Madam Bata, dismissed.
Damn. Who was that?